My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card. Earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
A huge month of Brewers baseball kicks off with a battle against the Yankees Friday, May 8th through Sunday, May 10th. Catch the Crew for half off with Wisconsin's first Friday game tickets on Friday the 8th. Plus, Mother's Day Sunday is the perfect game to bring the whole family with new kids experiences every Sunday. Plus, the first 10,000 fans over the age of 21 get a Brewers picnic blanket at the Mother's Day game, courtesy of American Family Insurance. Score your tickets at Brewers.com.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Mother's Day, this Sunday. Gifts I needed? Multiple. Time I had? Basically none. Was I stressed? Absolutely. Until I came to Macy's. Because now I'm finding gifts that feel thoughtful. A designer handbag, beautiful fine jewelry, great beauty gift sets that don't need to be wrapped. One trip to Macy's, and it looks like I planned it all along. Hurry in and save on the perfect gift at Macy's Mother's Day sale today.
Legacy? Yingling, 197 years family owned. That's elite. But legends evolve. Meet Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and it actually tastes like beer. Crisp, clean, goes the distance. No regret in a can here. Your beer should keep up with you. Flight's putting up MVP numbers in the light beer game. The other guys on the bench. Wisconsin, level up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. That's PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Get your green and gold off-season fix right here. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Shoot. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Looking forward to a glorious day here in the Dairy State here in southeastern Wisconsin as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy gets underway. No Gabe Neitzel for the final day, but we do have Chew and we do have Joshy. And of course, I'm Jen. I want to begin with the countdown. We talked yesterday about how it's 47 days till the NBA draft. It's actually only a few days, 2 days until the NBA lottery, which means that everybody is on Giannis watch. And I think we will get some clarity, or at least some direction, after the lottery takes place and we see where the Bucks land in the NBA lottery. But there are going to be, I think, lots of reports that come out. People who have information that sort of gives us a hint as to what is going to happen with the Giannis sweepstakes, the Giansense, as we have endearingly called it here at ESPN Milwaukee for some time now. Chris Haynes, Chew, is somebody who is connected to Giannis, who has been following Giannis's journey for a very long time. Joshy, do we have the sound from Chris Haynes?
Yes, Chris Haynes appeared on Sirius NBA radio yesterday.
Here's what he had to say.
I just believe that it's very likely. It's very likely that we've seen Giannis in a Bucks uniform for the last time. I just think it's very likely. So, this is the time. This is the time to move. You can't, if Giannis were to tell them, hey, I'm not resigning here. I'm not doing an extension.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks, I think the Bucks have to move him. So, this is where it's really getting serious.
Okay.
What do you think, Chew?
I think he's listened to our show and is just regurging what we've said. Really didn't give us much. Does he know Giannis? Is he his guy?
I don't know if he's his guy, but Joshy, would you say that like when information comes out and Chris Haynes has it, the general school of thought is that it's coming from someone in Giannis's camp, fair or unfair?
I don't know about that specifically, but what I will say, as soon as Dame showed up, Chris Haynes really appeared on the Giannis beat and seemed to have a lot of information as it pertained to Giannis. He was closely tied with Dame, and then it seems like there was a little bit of, hey, while I'm here working with one superstar, I might as well get in with the other. So he is not totally in the dark when it comes to Giannis news.
Let me ask you, can you bet on this at Pato?
They do not.
It'd be a very specific prop bet.
When things have knowable outcomes by certain people, they to make sure they don't run afoul of gaming commissions, they don't offer those types of bets.
It's why, and we talked about this, I think, when we were around the Super Bowl, it's why they don't do the Gatorade.
Yes.
Because somebody somewhere knows the answer to that. It is not something that is going to develop, as the day goes on. And so for that reason, they will not offer it as a bet.
And then there was the issue with the Detroit Lions.
Correct.
Who someone leaked the plays inside of the 5-yard line, which most teams do. A lot like the first 15. You rank the plays you want to run, inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, and there was a lot of betting going on Jared Goff to score the first touchdown, which it turned he did.
Yes.
Right, Joshy?
He scored it and it got called back.
The Sky Judge
procedure.
said, brought it back. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more.
It does. You just don't know it.
You think so?
It does in college football. I can tell you that a whole lot. In places where it's often
like
college
an equipment
sports.
manager, for example, there's an equipment manager setting the ball on a Friday when we practice red zone, right? And he knows, he's smart enough to know, okay, the first play they run from inside the 20, that's play number 1, because you really run them in sequence. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more. Like with Bill Walsh, when we stole the first 15, that waitress should have went, is there a bet whether the first play is going to be a run or a pass? Bet the house.
I'm not sure that it was as everywhere back then as it is now, right? Like, you certainly couldn't do it on an app back when you guys had the playbook.
No.
You'd have to find a bookie. So it was a little more complicated to make a bet on the plays back in the day. So it was not just the Chris Haynes stuff yesterday. And the problem with social media is you never know when something is from. I said this to you guys last week when we saw Kyle Kuzma and Giannis dapping it up on the sideline of a basketball game. I said, I don't know when this was from. Turns out it was from that weekend. They were at some Euro basketball tournament. But the problem with social media is you never know when a video is from. Here is a video of someone catching Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think it's outside the arena. That looks like the background. We're going to show the video on the YouTube stream. It looks like outside.
Man, stop playing. Stop playing.
All right, first of all, the music that the gentleman is playing in his car is going to sort of overshadow what is being said. But Joshy, can you play that again? It is a TikTok video. Play it again, and let's listen intently to what Giannis is saying to this guy.
Man, stop playing. Stop playing.
They don't want me, man. Am I right? Am I interpreting? Am I hearing correctly? They don't want me, man.
That is exactly what you heard there.
They don't want me, man. And then the guy says, man, stop playing. Okay, I'm listening. What do we got? Tell me the interpretation. What does that mean? Is Giannis referring to the Bucks, do we think?
Of course. My interpretation is all prima donnas turn into babies. They do. I remember I said it one time, joking around with Brett, hey, Hasselbeck, you better be careful. He's going to beat you out for your job. Hasselbeck, I played with him at Boston College one year, knew him real well, joking around. He wouldn't talk to me for like 3 days. He was literally upset over that. And we know how thin-skinned Rodgers is. I mean, what the hell else do they have to do? They want to give you a wheelbarrow full of money. It is out there. How does that translate to they don't want me? How? Grow up.
That is an interesting point, Shu. So the Supermax is on the table.
Yeah.
As long as the Supermax is on the table, how, you're saying, could Giannis interpret that as they don't want me?
I have no idea.
Joshy, what do you think about that? Can you square that?
I can. It's not going to make the most sense, but I think even if it ends up where Giannis has to request the trade, what he'll say is they don't want me because they're not doing the things it would take to require me to stay here, be it roster building and improvement in making us a championship contender. Think no further than the way he approached with Eric Name when he said, if we look like a team that can compete for a championship, we can hang up the phone, and then they didn't hang up. So that's probably the middle ground. If I were to be Giannis, put myself into Giannis's mind here, that's the way he would try and square those comments with the reality of both governors, for the Milwaukee Bucks saying either he signs the extension or we have to trade him. They've put it out in plain language, and there's a reason they've led with those statements. They want everyone to know in the fan base that the onus is on the superstar. The superstar is making the decision to not sign the Supermax extension. Therefore, we have no other option but to trade him.
Mm-hmm. I think he lost his power, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like to be told, hey, we're making a decision by the draft. Well, what do you mean? I'm president.
So then I want to be clear. If that is the case, if that is what is transpiring inside the Bucks organization, it is simply going to come down to who can make the best offer. What team out there can put the best package together for Giannis? If you believe that all of the signs are pointing to, and Chris Haynes is saying he thinks that Giannis has probably played his last game in a Bucks uniform, then all this is going to come down to is which team around the league can put together the best package for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
See, the problem inherent side of that, though, is Giannis would have to agree to in some sense to an extension. So he would have the ability to say, here are the 2-3 teams I'd like to go to, and here's the amount of things I think they should send back to the Milwaukee Bucks for me. Because also he doesn't want to go somewhere where the cupboard is going to be entirely dry, and he's going to end up in a similar situation as he is with the Bucks right now, where they have no more assets and they can't go out and improve their team either.
Yeah, that's the comment that Jalen makes in our YouTube stream. If he goes elsewhere, he will be the second fiddle. He will not be the face. He will not be competing for a championship right off the bat, nor what team will take his brothers. I actually saw that circulating on social media as well, that, and again, who can say the veracity of some of these things that you see on social media, but it was that there are teams who are concerned that Giannis might also want to, dictate some of the roster spots wherever he goes. Is that a legitimate concern? Who can say? I don't know if Giannis would do that if he went to another team, but that is another narrative that is out there surrounding the Giannis situation. 800-990-3776. Let us know what you think. Chris Haynes is reporting, this is a report for those of you out there on the YouTube stream who are saying take a 2-second video and pontificate. I will also remind you, Chris Haynes is reporting that Giannis may have played his last game as a Buck. You can pick your side. There are going to be people out there who say, Chris Haynes doesn't know anything. Chris Haynes isn't connected. I see people saying, Thanasis told us that the only people in Giannis's camp are him and Thanasis. Sure. Fine. You know who I sat next to yesterday at the hair salon? Giannis's wife. Is she in his camp? Does she have a say in any of this?
As a loyal listener to Thanalysis, Chris Haynes has appeared on that show.
Huh. What?
Think maybe there's a family connection there?
If we were to poll this question, have the Bucks done everything possible to keep Giannis happy? How would it turn out?
I believe, I was thinking
80-20 in favor of the Bucks?
I believe that the Bucks have done as much as they can to put a team around Giannis that can compete for championships. Mm-hmm. They have gotten unlucky with certain injuries. The Dame Lillard's thing did not work out, and they find themselves sort of backed into a corner. And as much as they would like for Giannis to be the driving force behind him continuing his career in Milwaukee, which is to say that he would have to say, you know what? Yes, I want to win another title, but I want to stay in Milwaukee. This is the only home I've ever known. I'm loyal to this team. I want to finish my career here. That, to me, it seems like is what the Bucks would need at this point to keep Giannis in Milwaukee. Because I think we're all looking at the landscape going, it just doesn't seem like the buttons and levers are there for this Bucks roster to get close to a championship caliber team.
I think he just wants to be relevant. And if he stays with the Bucks, he's not going to be relevant.
See, I just don't understand that thought process, though. Not necessarily by YouTube, but like, what's relevancy? Like, he's the star of the team. He's the face of the city. People come from, miles away, states away to watch him play when he's healthy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the star in Oklahoma City, and he's got relevancy in the league. Nikola Jokic is the star in Denver. He's got relevancy in the league.
I think the relevance is more towards the team in the surrounding. Not being in the playoffs and not being a team that's picked to potentially win the championship is irrelevant, I think, in Giannis's mind. And I think that's the way it would be approached.
800-990-3776. The information out there today is Chris Haynes is reporting that he believes Giannis may have played his last game as a Buck. And we have this TikTok video, and again, not sure when it's from. Wish there was more. We're going to post it. I'm going to have you play it one more time, Joshy, as we go to break here. It is Giannis in his truck outside what looks to be Pfizer Forum. Can't tell for sure, but the grading on the side of the building looks like the side of the arena.
Man, stop playing.
One more time, Joshy.
Man, stop playing.
They don't want me, man. That's what he said.
Grow up.
Again, not sure when it's from. Feels like it would have been posted whenever it was, right? I'm thinking the mind of a TikToker, the mind of a social media person. You see Giannis? Do you sit on that video? Do you hold it?
No.
Or do you shoot it right to your socials?
It appears to be also the same vehicle he was in at a drive-thru recently where he was posted grabbing ice cream within the past handful of days. So seems like those videos all are coming out around the same time.
We've got Jason Wilde coming up here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We're going to talk to Craig Carmazin as well. There is a ceremony taking place this weekend at AmFam Field as the Brewers welcome the Yankees to town. We'll talk about it all as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident westbound 894 still causing some headaches right through the Hale interchange. Left lane's blocked on the ramp to get onto northbound 894, so watch out for that. We've also got this other accident on westbound 94 right about at Elm Grove Road. It is off on the left shoulder, so it's not in traffic, but you still want to be careful heading past that. Otherwise, westbound delays right through the stadium interchange to Hawley Road. Southbound 41's heavy from Appleton down to Capitol, northbound from north to Burleigh. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit GeistDoors.com and don't think twice, call Geist. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies, a high of 63. Tonight, a few sprinkles, partly cloudy with a low of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 12th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Diego Padres.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 12th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Porch season is calling, and Carmazin has the answer. Introducing the new limited release lemon iced tea vodka 4-pack. It's the bright, refreshing taste of lemon iced tea with smooth vodka, no carbonation, and that bold Carmazin flavor you know and love. A little nostalgic, a little unexpected, and absolutely made for summer. From backyard barbecues to weekends at the lake, this is the can you'll want in hand. Get the new Carmazin lemon iced tea vodka 4-pack before it's gone. Go to drinkcarmazin.com to find Carmazin's brand new flavor near you and grab it while you can.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Caladora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Do you read more about your team in the off-season than in the season? Does your game day outfit include a brown bag with eye holes? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected. Because seeing your painted face in the rearview mirror after a loss isn't just depressing. It's distracting. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project? Exterior
Pros in Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Visit extpros.com.
It's a good day when we get to share the airwaves with our friend and teammate Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Jennifer. How are you guys?
Good. So the NFL schedule is expected to be released next week, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Who can say? I'm putting you in charge. If you got to make the Packers NFL schedule for 2026, which team are you scheduling for the first game?
Oh, Bears-Packers at Soldier Field.
Seriously?
Sunday Night Football.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Why?
But, Jason, does the league generally – I mean, I know the league likes teams like Dallas, New England,
Green Bay,
Kansas City. Do they like the Packers? I'd like to think they would.
1,000,000%.
So why wouldn't they start them off? All right, what's fair?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, maybe a little skewed. Let's say Micah Parsons is out for 4 games. How about 3 cupcakes in 1 Buffalo Bill?
Okay, so
I think that's what everyone's hoping for.
Jason, you asked why not. To the point that you just made, Micah Parsons is out. Tucker Kraft is out. I don't want to play a division game right out of the gate when the team is not at full strength. I'd rather take, maybe Jeff Hafley and company coming to Lambeau, Malik Willis under center. Let's see how that, transitioning Dolphins team does. A lot of pomp and circumstance surrounding the head coach and the quarterback, but, maybe not as tough an opponent as somebody in the division right out of the gate.
Yeah, but you put me in charge. Put me in charge.
All right, well, then you need
and I'm not a fan.
Then you need to
So I don't
defend
care.
your decision.
Well, because I'm not a fan. I'm not here to schedule it to make it better for the Packers to win. If you want to have a Packers fan do it, call Tausch. I'm sure Tausch would love to set up, cupcakes to start the season. That's great.
Well, Chewy as well, apparently.
Yeah, clearly. And first of all, I think Tucker Kraft will play in the opener. I really do.
Well, that's great
I don't
news.
think that he'll be. That's an opinion. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, 197 years, Gabe tells me. Now in Wisconsin, DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Look, given the circumstances and Micah Parsons, look, Jeff Hafley is aware of Micah Parsons not being ready for the opener. He said at the NFL meetings he'd love to start the season in Green Bay against the Packers because he wouldn't have to deal with Micah Parsons. So he's thinking the same way you guys are. I'm thinking in terms of storylines, the opener against the Bears, given everything that happened and given how douchey their coach is and everything else, I thought that made more sense. But you're right. If you asked me, Jason, I'm putting you in charge of making the schedule as easy as possible for the Packers, then there's a different discussion to be had. Here's the thing that I'm still, I don't want to say worried about, because I'm not like tossing and turning at night over this, but curious about. There are 2 games on that schedule against teams that are the designated home team overseas. The Munich game with the Lions and the Paris game with the Saints. Do you, as a Packers fan or, Jen, in your case, Packers observer, do you want the Packers to get one of those games in a foreign land as opposed to on the road at that team's home venue? Like, if we're, again, trying to make the schedule easier for the Packers or beneficial to the Packers, even though they've had some success in Detroit the last 3 years, I think they've won 2 of the last 3 in Detroit on Thanksgiving. Would you rather play the Lions in Munich on a neutral site where everybody's cheering for everybody, or do you not want to have a international game, which Matt LaFleur doesn't want?
Yeah, so the question essentially is, what's worse, the international travel or the home field advantage? I
Correct.
think the international travel is still worse than having to go to Ford Field.
I agree. Or, like, I would think that New Orleans, Packers fans obviously love to travel and love to drink. So I would think that a game in New Orleans would be a greater home field advantage for the Packers than that game in Paris if they played the same.
And again, that's not to say that Packers fans wouldn't travel overseas. They would, and they have. But to your point again, does that, cancel out the travel of getting to those international games for a team that, unfortunately, thanks to Matt LaFleur, now has a reputation of not being at their best for those games?
And a deserved reputation, and it's too late for him to now pretend that he doesn't mind international games, because we all know how he really feels.
Yeah,
so,
can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
And unring the bell, if you will. I would say this too. Sorry, Maddie. It's going to be every year, right? That's what Mark Murphy told us on his way out the door. That's what Ed Policy has mentioned now. So we're, if you're going to continue to be the Packers coach for a number of more years, be prepared, because you're going to be on foreign soil probably for one game every year in the very near future.
That's just, I get it, but shouldn't it be one game when they have the 9 home game schedule?
Couldn't agree with you more. Which would be half the league. So you'd play, well, I guess that's exactly what they're going to do now that I think about it, right? Because the other team they obviously have to play somebody. You're saying the 16 teams that would have 9 home games would play each other? So there'd be 8 international games? Yeah, they're not interested in that, buddy. They want to grow the game.
I just don't.
They want to make sure that that's why they're. Yeah. By the way, that's also why they're so supportive as a parent of daughters. I think Sid, Maddie, I don't think so, but Sid could probably be pretty decent at flag football. She's a pretty good soccer player. She can throw the ball pretty well as a football player, I think. But the reason why the NFL, they're not doing this just because, we love girls and we're really supportive of female athletics. They want more fans and more money, right? This is why they're doing the international thing to the degree they are. They're not, we really like our folks overseas that really enjoy our game. No, it's a cash cow for them. So again, they are always looking to expand their reach and their brand. So they don't care about 9 games, home games on your schedule. They don't care that Matt LaFleur doesn't like road to go, across the pond. They care about the bottom line, and they see international games as a very good revenue stream that has not been tapped into, just like gambling had not been tapped into until a couple of years ago.
All right, another question that's not really a question, because I don't want to lose my turn here, but I'm just a curious person, Jason.
Yeah, you may very curious.
Proceeds to ask question.
You may not know this. I certainly do not. But and there were no international games at this time in my career, but when they played in Milwaukee, 3 games, do you know if the league went to the Packers and said, okay, what games do you guys want to play in Milwaukee? Or did they just do it all on their own? Because that was even though we loved playing in County Stadium, because we were actually pretty good down there.
Yeah.
You think the league went to them and said, because it's really unfair, the fact that we had to play down there, because it was like half of a home game.
It was, correct. Yeah.
Did the league consult with the Packers and ask them what games they want to play there?
Yes, to some degree, within reason. Bob Harlan, both after he moved the games, what was that, following 94? Because I was there in 94 as a fan when, a fan in terms of being in the stands. I guess I wasn't really the most vocal cheering person even before I started covering the team officially. But I was there when Favre ran the ball in after Holmgren told him, under no circumstances should you run, you knucklehead. And so I do believe that the mentality was, and that was 3 games, obviously, that they did that for. But Bob Bob Harlan certainly had some sway, but again, like it didn't. The NFL, as much as everyone loves Bob Harlan, whether you were Paul Tagliabue or the people that called the office and he picked up his phone himself, he didn't always get his way. And we definitely saw that later on after they moved the Milwaukee games to Green Bay, and he would always, always, always push for Game 2 and Game 5 to not be weekday or night games because of that exact reason, because he did care about Milwaukee fans being on I-43 after the game, and some of them probably having had too many beverages to be doing that. So, yes, not to the degree that they just got to pick, okay, we want to play the Seahawks and the Oilers in Milwaukee or whatever it might be, because there were times where it felt like they almost always played the Lions in Milwaukee, right? And so I am fairly certain that one of the things that Bob would say is, look, don't move the Bears game to Milwaukee. I think that's probably a fairly safe assumption.
Yeah,
like I think that I remember going to a Packers-Bears like preseason game, and there's a great story. I mean, I was young and I didn't really realize what was going on, but with Ditka and Forrest Gregg coming to blows because the sidelines were on the same side of the field, if you recall. So yes, to answer your statement, that really was a question, even though you said it wasn't going to be and you didn't want to lose your turn. I think they had some version of input. I feel like Mark Murphy had some input for a number of years trying to avoid international games. Because, look, McCarthy didn't want to do them either. He just was a little smarter about not showing how much he didn't like them. But, like, one of the things that Bob Harlan and Mark Murphy both talked about was how important it is to the local economy. So the agreement that they eventually struck, even though it was ignored for that. No, I guess it wasn't. I guess that was a Philly home game. Was that, look, you can't. Our community needs that economic impact of those home games. So if you want to send us overseas, okay, we understand eventually we're going to have to go. They were the last team to go, but we would prefer if it wasn't a home game when you did it to us. And it hasn't been yet.
Jason, let me ask you this real quick. Did Jason Vrabel essentially confirm that Matthew Golden didn't know the playbook inside and out when he made comments on him this week?
Yes, he did. And again, I understand why Packers fans, and I know I've told you this multiple times about that Jordan Love quote about him, how much his route running improved, right? Because that means that early in the season, his route running wasn't very good. So while Jordan was trying to pay him a compliment, that was a tell as well. And that doesn't mean that, Matthew Golden isn't going to be a good player for them. Like, I specifically asked both James Jones and Randall Cobb when we were talking to them before the tailgate tour about him and about the wide receiver dynamic, because I really want to write this story now that I've gotten a lot of other people's input on it. I was the one who asked Matt LaFleur after the draft if it was more difficult than he acknowledged to try and keep everybody happy in that room. And that was when he said it was a problem. And then he hurriedly said, it was a good problem. Nope, too late, Matt. You already said it was a problem. So, too bad. But those two things were both factors. The first-round pick, being a rookie, this is not an indictment, by the way. I mean, knucklehead you're on the air with here, in 1992, would not have been the same guy he was when he went to 3 Pro Bowls. So, this is, everybody, when we talk about this, it's not like me saying, oh, Matthew Golden sucks and he was lazy and he's not very smart. No, he was a rookie. That happens with rookies. But I will say this, and I think this is what Vrabel was driving at as well. The training wheels are off now. We need you to be the guy that we drafted you to be. And so the fact that he came back and said he'd watched all this film of himself and could see how how he wasn't going at full speed because he was indecisive. LaFleur has this great line that I use with Sid in team sports too, which is indecisive equals ineffective, which I think is so simple but so true. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be thinking too much and not reacting. So I don't know what Matthew Golden 2026 is going to look like, but certainly he's going to be in a much better position to succeed, and they're going to need him much more to succeed.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with. Go ahead, Chu.
It's just not knowing the play, because half of those plays, and there's probably 140 pass plays in a game, you have to know the conversion.
Yes.
So
He says,
I'll just know what the conversion is.
I'll just read the
and
quote.
If you're indecisive,
Let me read the quote from Vrabel real quick, Chu,
Okay.
so you know what he said. He said he's always been able to catch the ball and run through the football, and that's what great receivers do. His hand-eye coordination, I'd say, is one of the better ones I've been around, so he can do that. But now the mental part. He's starting to become a lot more confident, and I can feel it, But I've always said, if you don't know the playbook, guys, inside and out, and every adjustment and every route conversion and when the quarterback's going to throw it, I think it's hard to play fast all the time because there's always a little bit of doubt. And just doing the reps over and over again and competing the way he does, we're all fired up about him.
Yep, nailed it, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well
reading on
done.
the radio? Woo! Thank goodness.
Oh, I love reading on the radio. One
All
of my
right.
favorite things to do.
Flare?
Yeah.
She just did a flare.
Oh, I've been told that I have one of the best flares. When we had Ric
that actually
Flair
was not bad.
on Thanalysis, everybody was doing their woos, and I did a woo, and Tony Cartagena said mine was the best woo.
That was pretty good.
All right. Sounds like you agree with him. All right, Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us on this fine Friday. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde joined us on the Yuengling hotline, as he told us, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Please enjoy responsibly. More to come. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Westbound 894, we got backups from 27th Street all the way into the Hale interchange. There's a crash there on the ramp to get onto 894 northbound that's blocking the left lane there. Westbound 94 slowing down from about 35th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound coming out of the stadium to about 35th. And then southbound 41, kind of a heavy ride there before Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Planning a home project or need added flexibility? Tap into your home's value with a HELOC from Great Midwest Bank. Visit greatmidwestbank.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny skies, a high of 63. Tonight, a few sprinkles, partly cloudy with a low of 48. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow, and now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel, and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Your brand doesn't need more square footage.
It needs more wow.
When you work with Captivate Exhibits, trade show booths become magnets. Lobbies become living stories. Break rooms become culture builders.
Captivate creates experiences people don't just see, they feel.
For more than 30 years, their award-winning team has transformed big ideas into bold brand moments that command attention and drive results.
Stop blending in.
Start captivating.
Visit CaptivateExhibits.com.
Let's talk about home turf.
Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm telling you, don't doubt his story, because he heebie-jeebies at certain times to miss field goals.
Yeah.
Gabe, I showed you how he does the heebie-jeebies, right?
Heebie-jeebie.
You take your fingers and you rub them back and forth on your thigh, and you go heebie-jeebie. Swear the guy bats 100%. So to call him a liar, and he puts a curse on you?
Look, I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, you are.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You know what I always say, happy wife, happy life. And a lot of times that starts with a visit to my guy, Dean, the dancing machine, and the jewelry center. Earrings, custom jewelry, and repair services, the jewelry center does it all. And when it comes to top-of-the-line engagement rings, they are second to none. And when that day comes for my boys to take that next step, I know exactly where they're going. They're going to the jewelry center. Great deals and selections on both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds. Plus, specialists who make the process easy and fun. Just ask Gabe. Stop into one of their 4 locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, Burlington, and Mequon. Or shop the full inventory online at shoptjc.com.
We asked this of Jason Wilde just a few moments ago when he joined the program live. The NFL schedule comes out in less than a week. Who do you want, as a Packers fan, your Green Bay Packers to open the season against at home? There's still no guarantee that they open at home, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't know that they would open the season at home, right, Joshy? They could open on the road. But for the home opener, who do you want?
They could open on the road because notably the Badgers and Notre Dame play on Sunday, September 6th at Lambeau Field.
But that time was just announced, actually. I saw.
6:30 p.m.
Sunday? Did you say Sunday or Saturday?
Correct, Sunday.
That's weird. For a college football game? Is that week 0, Jen?
No. Week 0 is usually in August.
Yep.
Last week of August.
I don't know when the NFL schedule starts, but it sort of feels like it would be September 6th, wouldn't it? And they haven't announced the schedule, so I don't know.
So who do you guys want?
Jets.
Jets are on the road.
Oh, they are on the road?
Yeah.
Where do you have that list? I didn't know they released that.
It's on Packers.com. Here are the home opponents. Minus the 3 division opponents, you have Atlanta, Buffalo, Carolina, Miami, Houston, Dallas.
Ooh.
Now, you can pick one of the division foes. But like I said when we were talking to Jason, I like the idea of Miami because I think we know that Miami's in transition. We have a lot of respect for Jeff Hafley. I think he's going to be a good coach. But I think I'd like to have Miami early in the season as they're still trying to figure things out, especially if the Packers are down Micah Parsons. Jason seems to think that Tucker Kraft will be back for week 1. It's a non-conference game. It's a non-division game. It does feel like no harm, no foul. I'm not saying I expect the Dolphins to come into Lambeau and, win. But that to me feels like there'd be a lot of pomp and circumstance. There'd be a lot of storylines to unwrap. And yet it feels like sort of a harmless opponent. Now, I do have somebody on the ESPN Milwaukee Carbless talking text line saying, be careful what you wish for. The Finns have a good defense. I'd bring them to Green Bay in December. That from T in lacrosse.
I just looked at power rankings.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about
much.
Came out
there. Wednesday, and they're 32nd. They're the 32nd team in power
and
rankings,
also,
so they're not losing.
Also, it's a full rebuild. All the staff, everyone there.
Yeah.
Like how we were excited to play the Lions first week last season because they were transitioning with both their coordinators, and look how that ended up for the Packers.
Would you guys take 2 and 2? 2 cupcakes and 2 tough games?
So who would your cupcakes be? Again, I'll give you those squads. Atlanta, Buffalo, Carolina, Miami, Houston, Dallas.
Atlanta and Miami.
Yeah.
And then I don't know because I think they like the Packers and sometimes they kind of help them out because the league knows that Micah Parsons isn't going to be ready, right? So, I don't know. I think the first 4 will tell us a lot, whether they like the Packers or they don't like them. Would you rather have, let me ask you this, would you have...
I think the league, if I'm honest with you, Chu, doesn't necessarily like each team. They like whatever is going to draw the most eyeballs. And that's why they have been scheduling those division games for the first, again, I'm talking about what would be ideal from a Packer fan standpoint. I don't want the Packers to have to play a division opponent. I mean, so let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say that the league is like, you have to play a division opponent week 1. It's how we're going to get everybody excited about the upcoming season. Fine. Give me the Vikings. Right?
Yeah.
Fine. If we have to do it, I want to play the Vikings.
Yeah, because I think the Bears would be unfair. Right?
I mean, it would be must-watch television for sure.
It would.
But again, if I'm making the schedule for the Packers' benefit, I don't want to play an important game like that right out of the gate. No Micah Parsons.
Yeah. The interesting thing is the NFL has been protecting and putting those division games late because that's when they have the highest stakes and you can crank up viewership.
But you got to play them twice.
Right. But last year they played like week 14 and week 17. Like it was in close succession. But if you put the context of the playoff game and then the end of the season, that's the type of thing where you start to go, wouldn't this be a great game to have back, one of the premier rivalries in all of North American sports? And we can put it week 1 and it can be our big selling point. Like that's where it becomes interesting.
I don't think it would be fair because Green Bay and Chicago are probably the top of the division, right? Detroit's kind of windows closing a little bit. Because I can tell you this, when Tampa Bay was in our division, right, if we played in Tampa Bay in September, which it's still hot as Hades down here, then the league would say, okay, if you're playing there in September, you have to go to them at the end of December. They would kind of make it fair. So I just think I don't think the league will do the Bears just because the league's not stupid. They know Parsons out, and it would be a big advantage for the Bears. So
800-990-3776 for the Packers home opener, whenever it is. They may start on the road. Look, I got somebody saying, let's start on the road at the Jets, get that terrible turf out of the way. That's a theory as well. As far as the home opponents go, you obviously have the 3 division teams. Then you have Atlanta, Buffalo, Carolina, Miami, Houston, and Dallas. Who do you want the Packers to open up with at home? And look, maybe you out there are sitting there going, nah, man, let's go. Division games right out of the gate. Let's play those Lions. Let's play those Bears. I would love to hear your explanation for it.
Let me ask you guys this. Would you be okay with a bye week 4, which is not a great time for a bye, but it means that Parsons would only miss 3 games? I would almost say yes, give us a bye week 4.
I don't like the early bye.
I know, but he's a field tilting, he's a game tilting player.
Sure. And you're saying they're giving him the earliest bye possible because the hope is that it gives him an extra week.
Correct.
When the Packers don't have to play, that he can continue to recover, make sure he's 100%, and then come out of the gate after the bye with Micah Parsons on the roster. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze.
Because my guess, Jen, is they're going to put him on PUP, which means you miss 4 games.
Just think that bye being late in the season is so valuable to just get a breather, man.
Oh, you could also make an argument giving him a week off 6 weeks after coming back would maybe do him good, seeing as he's rehabbing and coming back from a major injury. Instead of just only missing 3 games, you sacrifice the game, but then you get a fresher rehabbed version.
Reaction rolling in on the YouTube stream. Jim says probably the Sunday Night Football opener at Chicago. Buffalo to open. Super Bowl preview is what Scott says. He wants Buffalo at home. And then Jim saying week 5 is the first bye. Instead of week 4.
Okay.
800-990-3776. You are making the Packers schedule, which will be released next week. Who do you want them opening at home against? Are you one of these crazies who wants to get a division game out of the way, out of the gate? Let us know. Otherwise, I'd love to hear who you like for the Packers. Again, my thing is this. We've already talked at length about how the offseason workouts are not as demanding as they have been. We've already talked about how they're backing off the preseason. We've already talked about the soft tissue injuries. So there is a part of me that says if you can do a sort of ramp up in the season because your schedule isn't that demanding early on, that is what is going to be in the best interest of your football team. That is why I'm sitting here going, just give them a couple of easy opponents. I'm not saying that the league is going to do this. I'm just saying in the luck of the draw, I'm kind of hoping it shakes out with a team like Miami, a team like Atlanta, somebody that like is not as formidable an opponent that you can sort of ease your way into the offense, ease your way into the season. 800-990-3776. Got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to, including the Brewers celebrating CeCe Sabathia this weekend at the ballpark. We'll talk about that as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. If you're looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going, head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. They've got bold, elevated dinners. They've got thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner and stay for another round at the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 12th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the San Diego Padres.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 12th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. That's PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Commercial payments at Fifth Third Bank combine experience with innovation. Trusted to process more than $17 trillion in payments each year, Fifth Third delivers reliability at scale while continuing to push what's next. Named one of Fortune magazine's most innovative companies, Fifth Third builds secure, efficient, and forward-thinking payment solutions. Because commercial payments require more than consistency. They demand innovation that keeps money moving. That's commercial payments. A Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Mother's Day is coming, and you gotta show love to the mothers in your life. You know you gotta take care of mom. Plus, my wife just became a first-time mom. So yeah, Mother's Day matters, and you gotta get it right. That's why I'm sending flowers from the Books Company. Right now, get 25% off with code CANTY. Books flowers are cut fresh, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last way longer. And it's easy. Pick the bouquet, the delivery date, and you're done. Mother's Day is May 10th, so don't wait. Go to Books.com, use code CANTY to get 25% off. That's BOUQS.com.
Hey folks, Gabe here. Now we all know baseball's been around a long time, since the 1800s. But you know what's been around even longer? Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. Yeah, that's right. Yuengling started brewing in 1829. That means people were drinking a cold Yuengling before baseball even existed. A great beer that stood the test of time for 197 years. So the next time you're watching the game, reach for a Yuengling traditional lager from the oldest brewery in America. Now finally, in your lineup.
DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What's the one thing you say almost weekly here on the show?
Less eat.
Try again.
I don't know.
What's the one thing you've got?
Big boobs.
You've got time.
Oh, time.
You've got time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We got there.
I needed a few more hints.
Yeah.
What?
You put you in a... That's Dave's fault.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Come take a spin on the new Wheel of Fortune slot machine and feel the rush of the giant wheel right in front of you at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Crank up the excitement with bonus features, surprise win moments, and plenty of chances to shout, "Come on, big spin!" Be the first one to step up, spin the wheel, and cash in on the action only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, we were just talking about who you want the Packers to open the season with. That schedule will be released. But we also talked to Jason Wilde about Matthew Golden and the comments made by Vrabel about Matthew Golden that essentially confirmed what a lot of people thought, which was that maybe from a mental standpoint, Matthew Golden wasn't where he needed to be to make the contributions to the team that a lot of fans wanted him to make. Joshy, have you changed your tune a little bit on maybe Matt LaFleur's use of Matthew Golden now that you've heard Vrabel say that he didn't really know the playbook inside and out, he didn't know every adjustment or every route conversion, and that contributed to the snap count?
Not totally, no. It's on the coaching staff, too, to help him get there. Like, to an extent, yeah, you're responsible for knowing your playbook, but I don't think other players who end up being successful rookies all have it all figured out. I don't think the guys you see emerge as, like, do you think Emeka Egbuka knew every single thing that had to do with that offense in Tampa Bay? Or do you think they said, this guy's a talent, we need to see him on the field, he's going to make some mistakes, but it's going to be, the juice is going to be worth the squeeze? Also, you learn on the fly, too, on the job, and making him a 50% player or less some games is not going to be conducive to his growth. I think it's convenient excuse making because they all realize they probably made a mistake and now they've got to point the finger and get the best out of him and, say, hey, you didn't do enough last year, and hope that is a message he takes and then gets even better from.
I mean, they could have dialed it back. They could have said, okay, learn these 40 plays and its conversions. Because the problem was when you don't convert when you're supposed to, or you convert when you're not supposed to, it screws the whole play up.
All right, Chewy, just for the uninitiated, and Josh, give me a little NFL music here because we're going to get Dr. Football. Explain to the loyal listeners what you mean by the route conversion.
Okay, very simple. Okay, everyone plays cover 2, right? Cover 2 is 2 safeties deep, but the corners, we call them hard, right? Which means they're responsible for the flat. So they don't have to carry a receiver deep. They sit in the flat. So if you have a simple a hitch is a 5-step or a 3-step, put it in the ground and turn. Well, that's terrible against cover 2 because, like I said, the corners are hard, so there's nothing threatening them, so they're just going to sit right there. So that is an automatic conversion to a fly. Okay? And that's what the quarterback expects. So a fly is just like threaten the DB and then slip to the outside knowing he's not going to carry you. Okay? And then the throw's got to be on a rope because it's a long way for that safety to come downhill. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you screw that up, right? Let's say let's say it's that and he doesn't convert that when he's supposed to, and the quarterback's expecting you to, well, then the quarterback's like screwed. Then you got to take a sack or you got to kind of pull something out of your butt. And then let's say they're disguising cover 2 and they're slipping to 4. 4 is 4 guys equally across the back, and that receiver is going to carry you, right? And you convert that, there's, where you should be running the hitch because it's cover 4. That's just that, and that's one simple play, one simple conversion. But I would say half the routes have a conversion tag based on coverage that you have to read.
And when you consider that the head coach might have to be thinking, wait, we can't have Golden out there because if, like you said, the defense changes and it's not what we thought it was going to be, then he doesn't know the conversion, then basically we've eliminated an entire, option of our offense.
Yeah.
And so, again, I'm not trying to take the pressure off of or take the accountability off of Matt LaFleur, but players not knowing, to the point that Jason Vrabel made, the full playbook does then affect the coach and when they can be calling certain plays for the player.
Yeah. Like my biggest regen was called box poach, right? But so I had to determine whether it was box poach, where in box poach it looks like cover 2, and in cover 2 for 25% of my routes, I take the middle of the field, right? Now, Leroy was great at it because he would bait me, come wide, and then in box poach, they jump me and don't allow me to get to the middle of the field. So if I screwed that up in the middle of the game, Holmgren would tear me a new one. And it's hard. Football's hard. You got to know. That's why you got to watch film. You got to look at little tells that they have. And if you don't do that, like you said, coaches get frustrated and they're not going to call your number up because they have no faith in you.
Bottom line is it does feel like the team is and the coaches are much more confident in Matthew Golden going into year 2 than they were at times during year 1. So that should be a positive for the offense. I do want to take a break. Did you want to get one more thing in, Joshy?
The thing to me is this has happened with both Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs when they came in as rookies. It then happened with Jane Reed and Dontavian Wicks when they came in as rookies. And now it happened to Matthew Golden. Is it something we're doing as a Packers organization, or have all those guys came in and been non-professionals to the degree that everyone expected them?
Yeah, I think it's a really good point about expectations, too. Like, what are you expecting from your guys who are transitioning from the college game to the pro game, knowing how much bigger the playbook is, knowing that there are more complications? Are you putting too much on their plate?
Or are you not training young guys up the way you would hope to be because you said, hey, we don't have to worry about Matthew Golden this year because we have Jane Reed, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, and all these guys that can fill those roles. And whatever he figures out, he figures out.
Let me just say this in regard to Reed, because we didn't hear about this with Reed. Your conversion route in Reed is primarily a slot receiver. He doesn't play on the outside. The conversions on the inside are nowhere near as prevalent as they are on the outside. So when you're converting, say, 50%, and that's a high number, on the outside, you're converting 18% on the inside. The conversions aren't as big as they are on the outside. That's probably why you didn't hear it from Reed.
Hour 2 coming your way. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Westbound 894 to northbound 894 in the Hale interchange. We had an earlier accident that was blocking the left lane, and that was causing some big delays. Those delays right now are coming from the Mitchell interchange all the way through to the Hale. Luckily, the accident itself is gone. Northbound 4394 backing up around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. We've also got a crash on westbound 94 just about at Elm Grove Road off on the left shoulder. Delays are now stretching back towards Highway 100, so give yourself that extra time too. Buying a home? Apply for a stress-free mortgage from Great Midwest Bank and experience your state of banquility. Visit greatmidwestbank.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today. Mostly sunny skies, a high of 63. Tonight, a few sprinkles, partly cloudy with a low of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't think twice.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And while buying a home is a big deal, it certainly doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a stressful experience. At Great Midwest Bank, we combine competitive rates, fast pre-approvals, and honest advice from knowledgeable loan officers to help you every step of the way through your home buying or building journey. For 90 years, our customers have been part of the GMB family. Experience a state of tranquility at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Big weekend out at AmFam Field as your Milwaukee Brewers welcome the Yankees to town. Feel like you'll have pretty good crowds out there in the Valley this weekend for this 3-game series. And, oh, by the way, they are also honoring a couple of former Brewers. CeCe Sabathia and Dave Parker are going to be inducted into the team's Wall of Honor outside AmFam Field. Both are in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. So, Chew, you feel very strongly about the decision to induct these gentlemen into the Brewers Wall of Honor.
I think it's kind of weak. I mean, CeCe Sabathia was here for a fifth of a season, and Dave Parker was here for 1 season. I just don't think they need to do this. There should be some criteria that needs to. I mean, we put in Sam Gatto in the Ring of Honor. I don't know. I just think there should be an amount of time the player has to be with the organization in order to get on that wall. Because I'm sure if we look through the list of guys that have played here 3 years, 5 years, you'd probably sit there and go, now that may not be Hall of Famers, the big Hall of Famers, but you'd be like, well, I mean, that guy probably deserves to be on the wall. I mean, you guys see it that way, or I don't know.
Certainly
to
do
me,
not.
it seems to me, Jen, like this is something bad teams do because they need something to distract the fan base because they win 50 games a year. I mean, the Brewers are one of the best teams in baseball. And I love both guys. I mean, I love Dave Parker when he was with the Pirates, but you know what? I didn't even know he played for the Brewers. I didn't knew he played. Knew he played. So
it was before your time in Wisconsin, to be fair. It was 1990. I can't comment on the Dave Parker. I was 2 years old when that was happening, and I don't really remember him in the history. But CC Sabathia pitched 17 games, 7 of them complete games. He pitched on short rest. He was singularly the reason why that team became a playoff team and broke that streak of not appearing in the playoffs for so long. Like, I understand it was short. It's not like they're retiring his number. It's not like he's going into like a Hall of Fame like they have in Green Bay. It's their what is it? The Wall of Honor, Jen, is what it's being described as?
The Wall of Honor, yep.
So it is a distinction that is somewhat lesser than. Like, I think you could make an argument CeCe deserves more than the Wall of Honor.
I think the Wall of Honor is for impact.
Yes.
And you could argue no one made a greater impact in a shorter amount of time than CC Sabathia did on the Milwaukee Brewers. You mentioned the 17 complete 7 complete games in 17 starts. Short rest. He single-handedly carried that team to the postseason. Without CC Sabathia, there is no 2008 postseason breakthrough. That's just the reality. And if you believe that ultimately led to the Brewers being a consistent contender, and yeah, there were down years in between then and when they have been now consistently in the playoffs, but you needed to punch through, right? You needed to get on the other side of that wall. And basically, CC Sabathia threw the team on his back and busted through it like the Kool-Aid man.
Do the Brewers have a Hall of Fame or no? Is this their equivalent of a Hall of Fame like the Packers have?
I think the Brewers have 2 separate things, and this has always been one of those things that I have to look up. But they have the Wall of Honor that we are referring to, and then there is another. Is it the Hall of Fame? There's something else.
I don't believe it is a Hall of Fame.
So this is the equivalent of their Hall of Fame. All I'm saying is the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. Keith Jackson's not in it. Don Beebe's not in it. Eugene Robinson isn't in it. Sean Jones isn't in it. And they played in Green Bay multiple years and were very instrumental on us being so successful.
Okay, I figured I found it. I had to Google it. So the Wall of Honor recognizes players with significant tenure or success, including broadcasters. The Walk of Fame is a more exclusive honor featuring home plate-shaped granite plaques outside the stadium. Sounds like those are more of the exclusive.
Yes, that would be their Hall of Fame. The Walk of Fame. Here's the thing. CC Sabathia, in his 17 games with the Brewers, he had a 4.9 wins above replacement. Only twice in his career did he surpass that number in a full season. He had a 6.2 the year before, and then I think the next year at a 6.3. His time in Milwaukee was the 3rd most valuable time he was ever as a player in the MLB. Like, that's extremely significant. To account for 5 wins out of 17 games in that short span is historic, is otherworldly. It would be a dishonor not to say, like, hey, this was special. This was singular.
All right.
This was unlike anything we've seen.
Joshy, I get it with CC, even though I don't agree with it. What about Dave Parker? 1 year. Let me see his stats. If I can find it.
This is going to be a tough
I mean,
one.
Dave Parker? I mean, are you with that or no?
So I think, Chewy, what you're getting hung up on is, like, Dave Parker was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And so I think there is a portion of the fan base that thinks if you're in the Hall of Fame and you made a contribution to the Brewers, why wouldn't the Brewers also recognize you? And this would be posthumously because I believe Dave Parker passed away last year. I will look up Dave Parker's stats. I don't want to get too bogged down with that. But I do understand what you're saying in that you think that there needs to be a longer tenure in order to earn this distinction. Yeah. And I think what we're saying is the contribution was so significant that the tenure doesn't matter.
I was saying with Dave Parker. I mean, should Jim McMahon be in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame? He played with us during the Super Bowl. I just think there needs, and you mentioned tenure. What's tenure? I know what it is, but how many years does it take to get tenure?
Tenure for what?
Well, you said that was part of the criteria for them getting into one of the Walk of Fame or the Wall of Fame.
That is also available on MLB.com. There is a Brewers Walk of Fame and Wall of Honor explained portion of the website if you're interested in learning what the distinctions are between those two. I was looking to see if I could find Dave Parker's stats for 1990.
It wasn't anything extremely special. That one's a little different, but I think because he was one of the members.
Why is he?
Because he also broke a streak of not appearing in the playoffs. He was an integral part to that team for a team that hadn't been to the playoffs. And there's a theme here to both these players, and it was main pieces that helped break the streaks of non-appearances in the playoffs.
I just guarantee if you ask a baseball nut in South Bend, Idaho, and you brought up Dave Parker, probably had no idea he played for the Brewers.
What am I doing in
Just
Idaho?
all about fairness. I wish I had a list of who's getting snubbed, because I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's guys like, really? You know?
I mean,
I can tell you, Frank Winters fought for Earl Dotson, who played for the Packers for a while, was very integral, Super Bowl years, and he thought it was ridiculous that Earl's not in the Hall of Fame. And finally the Packers listened to him. He got in there. I guarantee there's Brewers sitting there going, what the hell?
So do you think that your concern is more about just Hall of Fames in general and the process that goes into deciding who is in these Hall of Fames? And because CeCe Sabathia and Dave Parker were not long for their Brewers careers, you think that should automatically
let me ask you guys
disqualify them?
The names I listed off, guys I played with that were only here for a year and a half or 2 or 3 years, should they be in the Packer? Should Keith Jackson be in the Packer Hall of Fame?
We honored one of those teams as like one of the all-time winningest teams in NFL history versus the Milwaukee Brewers, who had, up until recently, had struggles with not appearing in the playoffs and not having a ton of success. Like, these two guys are going to be, the 73rd and 74th name added to the Brewers Walk of Honor.
Wall,
sorry.
I know, it's confusing, but it is the Wall of Honor on Friday that they are being inducted into.
So I can kind of see CeCe, Joshy, but Dave Parker, you're fighting for it. Then you have to say Keith Jackson should be in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. Keith Jackson did more of with the Packers in a year and a half than Dave Parker did in 1 year with the Brewers.
But I don't think it's apples to apples. I think we're talking about two different leagues. We're talking about two different franchises. I think the Brewers have autonomy over deciding who they think can go into their Hall of Fame without being beholden to the Packers, the Bucks, Marquette, or any of the other local teams. You know, I do think I actually like the fact that they look and go, hey, we have a Hall of Famer, a baseball Hall of Famer that played for the Milwaukee Brewers, that had an impact on the organization. If he's in the Hall of Fame, the big one, Cooperstown, we want to make sure he's honored here in Milwaukee as well for what he did for our organization. I don't mind that logic. I mean, CeCe, I could get behind all day because of the impact that he had even in a short period of time. You know, when I think back to that season and it frames through my brain, CeCe Sabathia making that, after, throwing a great pitch or winning a game on short rest, whatever it was, is something that pops up. It's a core memory from that stretch.
I just don't think you should be rewarded with a franchise for something you did with another franchise. I don't agree with it, because I guarantee if I saw a list of guys not on the Walk of Fame, they probably would have the right to be a little bit upset.
Still the wall. We're struggling at the very basic principle of this. The wall versus the walk.
I mean, John Jaha is on the Brewers Wall of Honor. John Jaha has become one of those guys that's like a funny name to mention because he was pretty good at a time when the Brewers were not. Like, if you're honoring a John Jaha, CC Sabathia certainly deserves to be there as well.
The Walk of Fame has guys like Hank Aaron, Raleigh Fingers, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, the names that you associate with the greatness, right? Like, Mount Rushmore only has 4, but obviously I think they said there were 23. So to the point, that is a little bit more exclusive. They are a little bit more selective.
Carlos Gomez is on the Wall of Honor.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying we shouldn't be getting worked up about this?
Not this one. I think the wall and the walk are two very different. If they're putting CC with the other names that you just mentioned, then it would be like, okay, that's a bit much. Those are cornerstones of the franchise. Those are the guys who built the very places we're standing on now. When it comes to the Wall of Honor, it kind of seems like, hey, we liked having you around here. You did some good stuff.
Let's give you a spot on the wall.
The fans are going to, because that's all this is this is a chance for Milwaukee Brewers fans who are going to be in attendance to say, hey, this is awesome. His time here was awesome. I enjoyed when CC Sabathia was here. I enjoyed when Dave Parker was here. It changed the way we thought about that specific team in that specific year.
And just for what it's worth, guys, on the MLB website, MLB.com, when you can look up the distinctions between the Walk of Fame and the Wall of Honor. The Wall of Honor, it sounds like, was inspired by something that Craig Counsell saw in San Francisco with the Giants, and it was not intended to be exclusive like a Hall of Fame, but to be inclusive, get as many players as possible, executives, broadcasters, people who spent some meaningful period of time with the Brewers. So it says it's where Yount can coexist with Fernando Vina.
That's why football's so awesome. The bar's a lot higher.
I mean, somehow I knew that's where this conversation was going to land
just
anyway.
Better. It's better.
It took us 20 minutes to get there, but I assumed that was the end goal. That was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay, we're going to take a break. I'll see y'all at the ballpark. Joshy's going to be there tonight as our guys that we just discussed are getting a spot on the Wall of Honor. If you're buying or building a new home, Great Midwest Bank helps guide you every step of the way. While my family and I have had to navigate certain housing situations, Great Midwest Bank has been there for us. They give us a call when mortgage rates change, saying, time to refinance. We want to save you guys some money, and they will do the same for you. Local loan officers, and from start to finish, you can bank with confidence. Great Midwest Bank is your simply local equal housing lender. You can see all of their customizable products at greatmidwestbank.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 894 is going to be backed up between Beloit Road and National Avenue. Eastbound 94 heavy from about Hawley Road to 35th. The westbound side is backed up from 27th Street to Hawley Road, and again from Elm Grove Road, or from Highway 100 to Elm Grove Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies, a high of 63. Tonight, a few sprinkles, partly cloudy with a low of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
May is Skilled Trades Month, a time to celebrate the hands-on careers that keep our communities and our economy moving forward. At Junior Achievement, students learn that great careers don't always start behind a desk. With support from Komatsu, students are exploring opportunities in skilled trades, advanced manufacturing, engineering, and technology in Milwaukee's Harbor District. Thank you, Komatsu, for helping inspire the next generation of builders, problem solvers, and innovators. Learn more at ja.org. May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow, and now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel, and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and have already lost 35 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continued to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Shop Sendik's wide selection of gifts like candles, clothing, and home decor. Sendik's also has beautiful flowers mom will love. Shop in-store or order flowers for delivery at sendixhome.com. And to make it easy, Sendix is featuring handcrafted macarons and cake pops this weekend only, May 9th and 10th. Learn more at sendix.com. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you want to weigh in with the show, you can always do it on our Infinity Exteriors Twitter poll. Refresh your home with roofing, siding, or windows, all backed by their lifetime workmanship warranty. InfinityExteriors.com. All right, Chewy, let's get you back to football.
Get
you a little more comfortable here. Lambeau Field, my friend, has been voted the most comfortable stadium in North America. Now, this to me was a surprise. I love Lambeau for all of its lore, for all of its mystique. I think it is a bucket list place for a lot of people. But comfortable with those metal bleachers? You got to be kidding me. And people are bringing in cardboard and styrofoam and all sorts of things to stand on in the winter months. Chewy, Lambeau Field might be incredible, but it is not comfortable, is it?
No. Field's beautiful. Probably the best grass in the NFL. Luxury box is very, very lush. Very lush. But the stadium, not a lot of room. You were talking about cheek space yesterday. I mean, it's a 3/4 cheek seat. Yeah, no. Do you have the top 5? I mean, it's got to be a stadium with actual seats, which most of them is Green. Well, let me ask you, is Green Bay the only stadium in the NFL that has bleacher seats?
Here's what I was wondering when I read it. I wondered if they were talking about how welcoming and kind and Midwest nice people are when they are at Lambeau Field. I wondered if when people thought comfortable, they were like, I don't go into Lambeau Field as a visiting fan and worry that my players are going to get hit with batteries baked into snowballs. That's what I wondered if they meant by comfortable, because I still can't find a way where you're squeezing your cheeks on those metal bleachers and you're going, I am very comfortable. It is lazy boy-esque.
And the weather, you would think would have something to do with it as well, because I'd rather go to a game in Tampa Bay in December than I would in Green Bay. I don't know.
So the score was based on an uncomfortability score. It had 100,000 Google reviews that were looking for terms like crowded, cold, long lines, and overpriced. It had Lambeau had very few complaints when it came to crowding, seating, and amenities. So apparently the metal benches, because of, for whatever reason, not being a seat and feeling cramped in them, I guess if you just claim your cheek space, you're good to go, is sort of the idea there. I do think, I don't know how many stadiums remain that have the metal bench seating. It seems few and far between.
And while we're at it, I've got the entire list here, and American Family Field is on the list as the 22nd most uncomfortable stadium. I can't make sense of this. It says retractable roof helps, but seating tightness persists.
I think when they made the decision to cut a few inches off every seat to jam more in there is probably where that comes in.
Possibly.
Yeah, but you guys would both say that AmFam's more comfortable than Lambeau. I'd rather sit in a seat than on a bleacher.
Fiserv Forum, 44th on the list of most uncomfortable arenas/stadiums. Modern but urban access friction. What does that even mean?
Hard to get to.
Urban access friction. Because it's in a city? It's downtown?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's like on the edge of downtown. Like you that highway is right there.
You can get right off the freeway and into the parking lot in moments flat, yes.
Oh, and it's not a pain to get to Lambeau? I mean, what are we doing here?
And again, out of 100, now there are some ties, it looks like, but 100 stadiums and arenas, Lambeau Field, sure enough. Now, I'm going to give you some information, folks, that is going to just wipe the credibility completely off the list on this, okay? Lambeau Field is number 1, tied with Lucas Oil Stadium. Number 2 on the list of most comfortable stadiums/arenas in the country is Wrigley Field. Okay, I mean, come on.
So
what are we talking about here? They're confusing comfort for historic.
Yes, I think if we're to piece together what's happening here, people aren't going to Lambeau to talk about, wow, I didn't have enough cheek space here, because you're going to Lambeau freaking Field. If you have
destination.
Right, if you have the distinction as bucket list, place I gotta go, whatever happens once you're there is sort of just the price of doing business. I would presume, and like who's going to Lambeau and leaving a negative review? This ancient stadium that's been around forever didn't have enough butt space. That's not your biggest complaint.
I also think we have to take into consideration the distinct possibility of how toasted people were when they were leaving Lambeau Field.
You can put on a nice little liquor jacket and have yourself a good time.
That may have inhibited a real honest take here. Again, Wrigley Field is number 2 on the list for most quote-unquote comfortable stadium. I've sat behind poles at Wrigley Field, guys. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could say about Wrigley, and it's not just being a Cubs hater, but none of it's like this was an overwhelmingly comfortable experience.
Is Fenway on the list? Because that's another, no, not real comfortable.
And you know what? Again, it's 100. I could scroll through it. Let me see if I sneak down to the bottom again, because, again, they did it backwards. This list is the most uncomfortable stadiums, and, again, Lambeau is the least uncomfortable according to this list. Fenway Park, sure enough. It's ranked 93rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9th for comfortability. Fenway Park.
Yeah, that's
historic, but largely fan-friendly. So again, Madison Square Garden, indoor, iconic, comfortable. This list is bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think we had a bad method. You know, in science class, when you learn about like how you're supposed to do the process of scientific studies,
yes,
this one lacked
bad
any
methodology,
any rigor in terms of how we're going to determine what it is.
I mean, again, Madison Square Garden is a historic arena. I will go to Madison Square Garden. I have enjoyed the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. I have never walked in and been like, wow, this is cozy.
A lap of luxury.
It's comfortable, right? Those are old seats. I mean, at least the ones that I sat in, and it's a little tight. But, you know, you're standing, you're enjoying some basketball. Who can complain? And I think that's probably what skewed some of the results here on this. It's not a poll. It's a, they're calling it research. What is this? List. It's a list.
Yeah, it's a list.
It's literally a list. Yeah. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I believe we have Craig Carmazin coming up shortly here on the program. In studio or not, who can say? We will hopefully find out. We will hopefully find out after that. Joshy?
Are you looking for a weight loss option that will work, a weight loss option that will last? That's where Milwaukee Weight Loss comes in. I'm Josh Maggio, and I'm on that journey with Milwaukee Weight Loss. From the first consultation, the team really listened and built a customized plan around me and my goals. As I said, I'm down over 35 pounds at this point and having to buy new pants. It's a doctor-developed, doctor-supervised program where people can lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two, safely and naturally. Keep it off. This program is different. No intense workouts, prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, counting calories, or points. Many patients lose up to a pound of fat a day. Some patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two. Milwaukee Weight Loss has already helped thousands of people change their lives. There's no better time than now to take control and start feeling confident again. Schedule a free consultation at 262-235-3980. That's 262-235-3980, or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Big delays along southbound 41 right now, just south of Appleton Avenue, stretching all the way down past Hampton. The northbound side, we got backups through the construction zone from just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. You're back on the brakes heading right past Silver Spring towards Appleton Avenue. Westbound 94, delays from about 35th Street all the way to Hawley Road. More delays from Highway 100 to the county line. On the eastbound side, backups from Mitchell Boulevard all the way to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny skies, a high of 63. Tonight, just a few sprinkles, partly cloudy with a low of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
A huge month of Brewers baseball kicks off with a battle against the Yankees Friday, May 8th through Sunday, May 10th. Catch the crew for half off with Wisconsin's first Friday game tickets on Friday the 8th. Plus, Mother's Day Sunday is the perfect game to bring the whole family with new kids experiences every Sunday. Plus, the first 10,000 fans over the age of 21 get a Brewers picnic blanket at the Mother's Day game, courtesy of American Family Insurance. Score your tickets at Brewers.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Brewers baseball is back, and there's only one way to celebrate, with a Surfside iced tea and vodka, or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. Smooth, refreshing, and made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for a day at the ballpark, or catching the game at home. Surfside is only 100 calories with 0 bubbles, so it goes down easy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Old, outdated windows aren't doing your home any favors. Upgrade with Callan and replace 8 windows for as low as $188 per month. That's right, 8 windows. A smarter investment that can transform nearly half of your home. And with Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows, engineered to be up to 8 times stronger, you'll get lasting beauty, strength, and performance. Request your consultation today at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live. Some restrictions apply. Offer good with approved credit.
When you're getting married, the rings matter. There's something you wear for a lifetime. That's why my fiance and I went to Paul's Jewelers. Paul's Jewelers specializes in custom jewelry for life's biggest moments. Lab-grown or natural diamonds, great pricing, and a lifetime warranty, so your jewelry can be refurbished, repaired, or refitted anytime down the road. Their team made the entire process easy and stress-free. I can't wait to show off my wedding band after our big day. Create your masterpiece today by visiting Paul's Jewelers in West Allis.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Carmazin.
Has any market been as consistent where they only have one team than Wisconsin? We know Chicago hasn't been.
No.
Fridays with Mo.
Yeah, but until you win a championship, you can't really say that. And they've had one champion.
Chewy, we're going to just create an AI. The AI Chewy can just bring up championship. We don't even need Chewy.
They've had one championship.
What, it's going to be put like a hologram over there?
Yeah. Craig Carmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Saturn Lounge, your partner for marketing strategy, creative content, and winning campaigns. From websites to video and everything marketing, visit SaturnLounge.com to tell the world your story.
All right, Craig Carmazin is joining us in studio. I see you have your Wisco look on. It's a good look. Are you going to get the shoes?
I don't know. I don't think so.
They look good.
I know. I don't see that.
I thought about it, and then I looked in my closet at all the other shoes that I have, and I was like, you know what, Jen? Show a little restraint.
How about this? I bought this at the MLB store in New York City.
Love
that. So how about that? Going to New York, where I'm from, grew up a Yankees fan, but show my Brewers pride by buying this sweatshirt in New York.
And now you'll wear it for the series
and now
against
we'll wear
the
it
Yankees.
tonight for Yankees invading Brewtown.
Okay, so CeCe Sabathia and Dave Parker are joining the Brewers' Wall of Honor. It is not the same as the Walk of Fame. Again, I've encouraged people to go to MLB.com. There is a link there where they're detailing the distinctions between the Walk of Fame and the Wall of Honor. Chewy feels very strongly that CeCe Sabathia and by extension, Dave Parker should not be given a spot on the Wall of Honor today.
I'm not going to speak to Dave Parker. I'm going to speak to CeCe Sabathia. And I would be okay with CeCe Sabathia being on the Wall of Honor. I would be fine with him having his number retired. I would be happy with him having a statue in front of American Family Field. What CeCe Sabathia did for the Brewers can't be underestimated, and it is everything amazing about sports, and every Brewers fan should celebrate what CeCe Sabathia did and should know what he did. So to me, whatever the Brewers do to honor CeCe Sabathia, I would be all for.
It's not enough, you're almost saying.
I'm not saying it's not enough. I'm saying the statue, I might say, would be enough at that point. But having lived here before CeCe Sabathia and after CeCe Sabathia, I really believe he was a franchise-altering player, and he was a player who did something that I don't think we'll ever see again.
So weak.
Chewy, you know what?
Should you put Aaron Rodgers in the Jets Hall of Fame? Is he going in next?
Dude,
you want him in the?
Dude, he pitched every third day when he was on a contract year to get a team to the postseason that hadn't been to the postseason. I mean, the guy was unbelievable. And the unselfishness and the character.
This is like your Russell Wilson thing. This is like your Russell Wilson thing. He played for the Badgers for 1 year. He played for North Carolina State for 4.
Agreed.
Okay?
To me, it's not the length. It's the impact. Chewy, you're in the Packers Hall of Fame. You didn't hit double-digit years,
should
did
Keith
you?
Jackson be in? Should Don B be in? Should Sean Jones? How about Wayne Simmons, who was the equivalent to
How about
CC
Reggie White? How
Sabathia
about Reggie
because
White?
he kicked the crap
How
out of
about-
Brent Jones and gave us the confidence to make it to the Super Bowl. Should he be in the Packer Hall of Fame? No,
It sounds
because
like he
we
should
have a
be.
bar,
Sounds
and it's
like he should be.
extremely high.
But just to be clear, again, this is not the Hall of Fame. It is a wall, and I'm going to tell you guys what Dario just said to me. It's a wall of popular names that put on a Brewers uniform at some point.
But I think it's not enough. I think, Chewy, you're crazy to care about this wall, first of all, because it's dumb to care, like, who's on a wall. Like, there's some, like, oh, wow, like, I'm going to shit, like, look away when I walk past this wall because I don't want people seeing what the great CC Sabathia did for the Milwaukee Brewers to help lead them to a postseason. That's silliness. But I mean, I understand if you could have a take if they're retiring his jersey, but that's not happening. So what are you worried about? His name be on a wall? What did he do to you?
Number one, I don't care about the wall. I just want to fight with you. And this was kind of like the under ticket. Now let's get to the real ticket. What about Giannis? Don't be an apologist. Please don't be an apologist. What about Giannis saying, they don't want me back?
This was the under ticket. Let's get to the main card.
Are you talking
They
about,
don't want me
wait,
back.
are you
The
talking
Milwaukee Bucks have done everything possible to give that guy what he wants, and now he's going to say they don't want
Have
me
you
back.
seen this
because he
video?
doesn't like the direction
You saw the
of
TikTok
I happened
video?
to look at TikTok before bed last night, and I saw a video with no context.
And to be fair, we did say that this morning.
We have
don't
no
know.
idea what they're saying and what he's saying and what the conversation is. And we also know Giannis to be very playful. So I'm not going to read into anything Giannis said at the gas station to somebody he doesn't know on TikTok. That's come on now.
It wasn't at the gas station. It was at the Bucks facility.
I mean, maybe. Again, I was trying to go on Google Earth and see if I could go around.
You said it, so it's on the internet.
It's got those grates on the side of the wall, so I thought maybe it was like, it could be an apartment complex for all I know,
I
right?
mean, if
It's
he
just
was
like,
at the Bucks facility, then that would tell you something. He's working out with the team. So, I mean, Chewy, I think Jimmy Haslam was clear in what he said. I think it sets up, to me, a weird situation, though. Because if it's like, okay, we got to resolve this by the draft. That's the premise. So, okay, so is he going to sign the Supermax or not? So Giannis is set up to be able to say, well, they haven't offered me the Supermax, so I can't sign the Supermax until October 1st, and the Bucks can't offer him the Supermax. So, because as it's been said, like, hey, the Bucks, have you offered Giannis the Supermax? Well, we can't, legally offer him the Supermax until October 1st. So in setting the deadline for at least the ideal timetable around the draft, I think it means somebody needs to initiate privately the conversation if it hasn't already, but it seems like Jimmy Haslam said there's conversation to say, hey, we are going to offer you the Supermax. Are you going to sign it? And then Giannis needs to be able to answer that. And it seems like at that point we may have resolutions and next steps on this thing. And by the way, this weekend is a big deal. The draft lottery happens this weekend. It's a tiny percentage. I've been hitting refresh on my tankathon. It is a long shot that the Bucks end up anything other than 10. There's a chance the Bucks move to 9. And then there's in the 1-2% chance that the Bucks could either have the second, third, or fourth pick of the draft, which would absolutely be franchise altering.
Is this what he's waiting for, Craig? Giannis, to make a decision, to make a final decision? Is he waiting to see how the lottery turns out to see if they get a top 3 pick?
I don't think it's as simple as Giannis waiting to make a decision. I think it's legitimately a nuanced situation between two parties who are figuring things out. But I think Giannis could change the narrative and end a lot of speculation if he came out and said, hey, I've said it a million times. I want to stay in Milwaukee. Of course I'm going to sign the Supermax if it's offered to me. I've said it's in the Bucks' court. And if the Bucks offer me a Supermax,
everyone knows
I will sign
offered. They're running a business here. You can't wait until October, and then he says, no, I'm going to wait till free agency. Then you get nothing. You lose all your
and
leverage.
I think fans are aligned with that. I think fans are aligned with the fact that, that at some point it needs to be clear if Giannis is going to be willing to stay or not. And I think most fans, if Giannis wants to stay, the vast, vast majority of fans believe that if Giannis wants to stay, he should stay, and the best chance for the team to win is with him rather than without him. But also, those same fans would say, if he's not going to stay, we certainly don't want to lose him in free agency and not get anything for him. Correct. So then it would make sense, as sad as it would be, to trade him. I think that's what those fans would say if Giannis did not want to be here.
Our chat with Craig Carmazin is brought to you by Saturn Lounge. Connect with our friends Jim and Bennett for all your website and video needs. It's Saturn Lounge that brings us Craig Carmazin. Okay, Craig, so let's just play this out. Let's do a hypothetical. Let's say that Giannis is staying. He signs a Supermax. He wants to be a member of the Milwaukee Bucks. What's next from a personnel standpoint? What is your vision for the Milwaukee Bucks that gets them as close as possible to being a contender if Giannis is on the court? And again, I understand, but Giannis is getting older. He has dealt with injuries. What needs to be a priority for this organization as far as putting a crew around him that makes this team competitive?
Well, I think, first of all, this was a top 5 team last year when Giannis and KPJ were healthy for those 19 games. So I think first we have to see what this team looks like healthy. But I think the team wasn't good enough. There's going to be a new coach. There's going to be a lottery pick. And there are a lot of players that have value. Like, this is not a roster where you're stuck. This is a roster that has value. There are players like Ryan Rollins who have huge upside on this roster. He was a candidate, a top 5 most improved player in the NBA this year, top 2 if you look at it in most statistical performances. Ryan Rollins, you would assume, is going to continue to grow. Ryan Rollins is someone also who a lot of people have interest in around the league, right? They're going to have a lottery pick. That lottery pick can either come in and impact, which we've seen lottery picks do. I'm not saying whoever it's going to be is going to have a VJ Edgecombe-like impact on the team, but we've seen lottery picks come in and impact, or that lottery pick could be traded, right? Miles Turner and Giannis, what can be unlocked with that, which did not get unlocked this year in the first year, which was a really disappointing first year for that acquisition. But I think there's a lot of belief within the organization in Miles Turner, right? There's so many things that are possible within this roster. And when you have the best player in the conference, which the Bucks do, right? Giannis is the best player in the Eastern Conference. So you start with that, you have a chance to win.
Did you say a top 5 team at the beginning? The top 5 in the East, or
no?
Top 5
in the NBA, in the 19 games that Giannis and KPJ played, this was a top 5 team in the NBA.
And listen, I'm inclined to agree with you on these are good pieces. And I also believe that a lot of the dysfunction that was surrounding will he or won't he, what's the status, does he want to be here, does he not want to be here, do they want him to do that? I think that contributed to some of the struggles last year.
The Kevin Porter Jr. injury and the will he won't he, to your point, was massive.
We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around. We'll have you hang out with us for the last 5 minutes of the show. But
5 minutes?
2 minutes, 1 minute of the show.
30 seconds.
Well, I told Chewy to not jump. Doesn't matter. Now we're taking more time.
Shout out to Saturn Lounge.
We'll be right back after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Meet Jim and Rita. We went on a motorcycle trip. But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident. They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital. Sometime later, Rita made a discovery. She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there? And amazingly, he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's. And I had my checkbook in my hand. But when he arrived there, and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty. Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty. It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day. Shop Sendik's wide selection of gifts like candles, clothing, and home decor. Sendik's also has beautiful flowers mom will love. Shop in-store or order flowers for delivery at sendikshome.com. And to make it easy, Sendik's is featuring handcrafted macarons and cake pops this weekend only, May 9th and 10th. Learn more at sendix.com. Sendik's Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and zero calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Michelle Smallman here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, I have to get to these comments from our loyal listeners in the Carbless Talkin' text line, okay? Craig, we were talking earlier about the most comfortable stadiums, and Lambeau Field was number 1 on the list, tied with Lucas Oil Stadium. For some perspective, Wrigley Field was second. So, again.
Cite your source.
Wrigley Field. Well, so it is Canada Betting, CanadaSomething.com. What was it? CanadaSportsBetting.com.
Josh, how is this a source you're allowing on this show?
Well, it was picked up by the Green Bay Press-Gazette. That was the article that we found.
The beacon of journalism.
What are we doing?
I'm a Rich Ryman guy.
Green Bay Gazette, if they say the word Packers in it, they print it.
Well, yeah, so that's the point. What I wanted to tell you is we got this great comment.
If they say the word Packers, we talk about it, to be fair.
Also a very good point. I want to give you this comment that came in from Jam in Waukesha. He says, saying Wrigley is comfy because it's historic is like saying a Ford Pinto is a great car just because you lost your virginity in it. Well, I figured that would give Chew a chuckle.
I actually agree with that. Like I'm saying now, I actually do think Wrigley and Lambeau are comfortable now.
You lost your virginity in a Pinto?
I didn't, but I could understand why someone would think that. And if you lost your
virginity
if you lost
at
your
Wrigley
football
Field?
No, but if that's your first game, your fandom. I was going to the fandom thing. Then I understand it. It's a comfort food.
Oh my gosh, what a great way to end the week. What a great way to end the day. Wildy and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Big delays along southbound 41 right now, just south of Appleton Avenue, stretching all the way down past Hampton.